Hi, Scott Richardson from Bullfinch's Restaurant in Sudbury, the Gorilla Gourmet, here with my friend Bob Heisen, Heisen Photography in Sudbury. We're at the Hopkinton home of Linda Hannah Casey and her husband Bill Casey. Children Jacato, Taja, and Will. Gorilla Gourmet, the premise is we come in, Linda's got lots of great stuff in the kitchen, so it was really easy for me to come up with something to eat. As I've said in the past, we try and think of a protein, a veggie, starch, maybe a salad. I haven't expanded into desserts yet, but maybe at some point in time we will. Some of the items I found: beautiful ribeye steaks. Gorgeous. We're trying to empty out the freezer for Bill. He's got an issue with all the food that keeps coming into the freezer, but nothing ever leaves the freezer. So we found those. We're going to use those up. She's got lots of great ingredients for salad dressing, so I pulled some of those out. Terrific garden out back. We've got a zucchini, fresh tomatoes, basil, parsley. We're going to use those up. Linda got some peaches and raspberries at the local farm, and we're going to put something together. The hardest thing I think about home chefs is trying to figure out when to start cooking things so everything comes together. Now in this case I'm going to do a little pasta dish, so the first thing I'm going to do is cook my pasta, get that out of the way, and then we don't have to worry about it. And then start with pastas, the sauce for the pasta, steaks, sauce for the steaks, and then while that's going on we'll throw together a quick little salad. Alright, so I've got my water boiling. I always do too much pasta, so I'm gonna go light. I'm cooking for 4, and this is a side dish, so I'm not gonna do a whole lot. So we're gonna get this started.
You think about half a pound for 2 people?
Yeah, half a pound. Well, this is for 4, and as I said, it's just gonna be a little side dish, so I always overdo the pasta anyway. I always have too much, so I don't like to break my pasta. I always like to just put it in long and let it fall into the pot. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I don't have a very big saute pan, so I'm going to do these. Hopefully I'll get 2 in a pan, and we'll see how that goes. Best to bring your meat to room temperature before you cook it. We've had these out for 10 minutes or so. Start with a little fresh ground pepper, some kosher salt. We'll do both sides.
Nice marble.
Yeah, beautiful ribeyes. These are great on the grill. Great just sauteed. You can broil them, roast them, do whatever you want to them. Okay, so we're going to take a touch of. I'm just going to take a touch of olive oil because all that fat in that meat is going to render out. So you really just need a little bit of olive oil just to get them started. Okay.
That looks so good.
Yep, we're looking for a little sizzle there. Okay, and we're just going to let those go. Steak like this, 4 minutes on either side. We're going to let it rest too. So we'll do 4 minutes on each side for medium rare. Is that all right with you guys? Or
yep.
Okay. So we're going to work on those. We're going to do them in stages. I'll get these ready to go into the pan once those ones are done. All right, so I'm going to finish seasoning these, and we'll set these aside and do a little rotation on those ribeyes once they're finished in there.
So you said about 4 minutes aside on this one?
4 minutes aside, yeah.
Same on a grill?
Same on a grill, yeah. And as I've showed in the past, temperature-wise, most restaurant chefs use the feel method. You just get used to what meat feels like, the temperature it is, and a good way to start doing it is to take your fist with your thumb turned in like this, set it like this. The further away you get from your thumb, the more done it is, and the closer you get to it, the rarer it is.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's a good technique to know.
Yeah, well that way, I mean, a lot of home cooks cut into it, and that's pretty much the worst thing you can do, is cut into a piece of meat because it releases all the juices. And that's another reason you let your meat sit for a little bit after it's cooked, so that the meat draws the juices back in. So as soon as you cut it, the juice doesn't flow right out of it. So we got our pasta done. We'll get that off and strain it. And as I said, I'm going to be tossing this with a sauce. So I'm going to be tossing this with a sauce, so I don't necessarily have to worry about it cooling down over here. Never rinse your pasta. The starches in the pasta help the sauce that you've made adhere to the pasta. All right, so we've got these steaks going. I'm going to start a little sauce to go with that pasta, and I'm just going to use some of the fresh vegetables they had out back. Fresh zucchini. I'm going to dice up some fresh tomato, a little bit of basil, olive oil. Very simple. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to use all of this zucchini.
That's farm fresh, right out of the garden.
Prize winning, yep. Probably just going to use a small portion of that. And when you're cooking, sometimes, you know, if you want to do it fast, cut your stuff smaller. We're just going to do a nice thin slice on this. I don't have a very big saute pan, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to go with a fair amount, a little bit of olive oil to get it started, and then we'll add some more, kind of making it the sauce. Now that's the sound you want to hear when you're sauteing.
Right.
All right, you don't want stuff going into a cold pan. Yeah, you want that sizzle, baby. What does saute mean?
Jump.
To jump. Thank you very much. So that's what your stuff should do when it's in the pan.
Did you season that at all, Scott?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
As I've said in the past, we'll season it at the end. You know, sometimes if you just take really nice fresh ingredients, it really needs minimal additive. So we'll cook it all up. We'll taste it. Probably need a pinch of salt, a little crackback pepper. And Bob, you've been practicing this at home, I know? Okay, good.
Absolutely. I can do it.
You can do it?
Some of it winds up, a little bit winds up.
Well, a lot of people take the pan and flip it up. It's saute pans are designed, the lip of it is designed, if you just get everything moving forward and pull it back, the lip of the pan flips
So
it back.
back and forth and up and down.
Exactly. Shook our steaks.
Peas the other day.
Ooh.
So we're gonna flip these bad boys. Now that we got that up to speed. Gonna dice some tomatoes. Oh, those look beautiful.
Look at that.
That's gorgeous. You don't know what kind these are?
I put in 4 varieties and mixed them all up, so I really have no idea.
It's the tomato lottery.
It's the Casey tomato.
Wow.
And you notice I use everything.
But
All right. There's no reason, nothing wrong with the top of a tomato. That's for sure. I like to use serrated knives with tomatoes just because it's a lot easier. Unless you've got a nice, really nice sharp knife. Obviously the zucchini is going to take a little bit longer to cook, so we're going to let that cook for a while. We're going to add our tomatoes last. So I'm just going to set these aside. We'll get some fresh basil prepped too. The basil I'll add at the last minute also, so that it holds all its flavor and doesn't cook out. Fresh basil Bill just picked for me this morning.
can't ask it for any fresher than that.
No, you cannot. So take it, the easiest way to do a chiffonata basil or a very thin julienne. Take them, stack them up, roll them up a little bit.
Wow. Boy, that's going to save me a lot of time in the future, I tell you.
What do you do it leaf by leaf?
Yeah, wrestling with it and trying to. Do that all the way while I cook it.
Time saver.
There we go. So we've got some fresh basil, all set to go. Our zucchini's coming along nicely. And as I've said before, you know, let your saute pan do the work. Don't move it all around. Let it sit there and cook. Don't always get over there and feel like you have to do stuff with it all the time.